Hi, I'm Sarah Giles. I write chapter books for kids. I have a job where I write business reports, and I'm also the mom of 2 middle graders. But in my free time and the very early hours of the morning, I love to write, and I love to write books for kids.
I'm coming to you all the way from the state of Washington, just west of the Cascade Mountains. Here's a picture of what it looks like. Well, in the summertime at least.
Today's lesson is about perspective. And perspective means the way that we see things, or it can also mean the way that we think about things. And the way that we think about things is often shaped by what we feel, what we believe, and what we have learned from our life experiences so far. So is it possible that each person's perspective is a little bit different from each other? It certainly is. And today we're going to hear about 2 different characters looking at the same situation but coming away with a bit of a different perspective. The reading today is from Fitting Out the Friendship Experiment. Hope you enjoy it.
Let's take a closer look at the word perspective. In the center of the word, you see the term spect, which means to see or look at something. What other words do you know that have spect in them? What about spectacles? Or inspect, to look closely at something. How about spectators, people who are gathered together to watch or view something? Perspective can mean the way that we see things with our eyes. We can have a different perspective from someone just by being at a different physical distance from them. Things close up might seem large, while things far away would seem a lot smaller. But perspective can also mean the way we think about things, or what is called our point of view, which is based on where you are, where you've been, what you've done and seen, and what you've learned in your life so far. These all make up your perspective. We're now going to hear from one of my favorite characters, Max McConk. He's going to tell us about a situation from his perspective. Then we'll get to hear a description of the same situation from a different character's perspective. And then we can compare the 2. In the first book in the Fitting Out series, The Friendship Experiment, main character Max reveals that his best friend just moved away, and he realizes he doesn't know how to make new ones. He never really had to before. School starts in just 1 month, and he'll be all alone if he doesn't figure this out. And fast. We pick up with the part of the story where Max has planned his experiment and he's ready to go out there and give it a try.
Chapter 9. Test, test, test. Now, any good plan may look just fine on paper, but time to start testing and launch a friend caper. Pop Pop, remembering his days as a paper salesman, told me to start off with a joke. He said it's much easier to get people to agree with what you want once you have them laughing. I also think I should wear my favorite shirt and, of course, my goggles, but maybe not my cape. I have to leave some surprises for the first playdate. Monday morning after breakfast, I walked over to the park at the end of my street to see if I could wrangle some new bros. I saw some kids standing together at the edge of the playground. I was feeling totally ready, mega brave, and extra maxi until they turned around and looked at me. And then I forgot everything. I just stood there, trying to remember my plan. What to say? What to do? The whole time, I felt like my head might explode. I am pretty sure my face was beet red. Have you ever seen a beet? It's so red, it's almost purple. And so was my face at that moment. Okay now, I shouted to myself inside my head. It does not matter what you say anymore. Just say something. Anything now, Max, speak! I swallowed a painful gulp and opened my mouth, but it was like my voice got stage fright, and nothing came out but a sort of honk squeak. Something like the sound a goose makes when it's really mad or sick. The group of kids were frozen like statues. They just stood there, looking at me blankly, not sure what to say. And so what did the new and improved Mega Brave Max do? I ran. I ran far, far away, and fast. I ran all the way home and actually got there in less than 3 minutes. I decided that I may add cross-country running to my list of hobbies because it seems that I'm pretty good at it. As I ran, I replayed those horrible, embarrassing moments in my head. Could it have really been as bad as I remember? Yeah, it was that bad.
Confession of a Stick Figure Girl. You might remember me from the friendship experiment. Then again, you might not remember me. That is the way it used to go for me. Most times, people didn't really notice that I was there. Even if they did notice, they quickly forgot about me. I blended in so well you could hardly tell if I was standing right next to you. What's worse is that the kids at school sometimes called me Chameleon because I sort of disappeared into the background. And also because of my name. I was so excited one day when a new boy, who I had never seen at the park before, came up to me. I thought maybe he would even talk to me. He seemed really nice, but he didn't ever say anything. I have thought about this moment over and over since it happened. Someone finally noticed me and was about to talk to me, and I blew it. Why didn't I say anything? If I had just said something, anything, maybe I could have made a new friend. He seemed really upset that I didn't say hello. He even ran away. Literally. Didn't he realize that I was not used to anyone noticing me, especially talking to me? Surely he just lost interest in me and decided to leave. I wish I could be better at speaking up.
Now let's look at the try to see it their way activity and see what it would look like if Max filled it out. I like to start right in the middle with the facts. And the facts are the things that both characters in the situation see the same way, or things that they agree upon. If we were to ask either character, they would agree that Max walked up to some kids he didn't know, didn't say anything, and then ran away. They would also agree that this event took place in summertime at the park. Now let's look at things just from Max's perspective. From the reading, we know that what he thinks happened was that he got nervous and couldn't talk. Those kids must think I'm so weird, he thought. Why might he feel that way? If you haven't read Fitting Out, I'll give you a hint. The last time Max tried to meet new kids, it didn't go very well, and one girl even laughed at him. So that's the events from Max's perspective. Let's take a look at the stick figure girl's perspective. If Max were to read the stick figure girl's description of what happened that day, he could imagine that she thought that he was mad at her that she didn't say anything, and that's why he left. It also seemed like she felt like she was bad at speaking up, so she worried that this was the cause. These two characters were in the same place at the same time, but each walked away with a different idea of what happened and why. Where do they go from here? Well, I don't want to spoil the ending for anyone who hasn't read Fitting Out yet,
but I can tell you it has a happy ending.
So instead, let's talk about how you can use perspective in your life. Just by taking a moment to think that another person may have a different perspective from you is a huge step in learning how to live with, hang out with, and work together with all kinds of people. Thinking about where someone else is coming from may help you talk through a problem with a friend instead of arguing. Sometimes hearing someone else's perspective about a situation can help open your eyes to new possibilities that you never knew were there. And of course, understanding different perspectives can help you write really interesting, well-rounded characters who have very interesting perspectives based on all of their wild adventures and extraordinary circumstances. Now it's your turn. Practice perspective by thinking about a situation in your life with someone else. Start with the facts. What would you both agree to be true? Then fill in your perspective and why you feel that way. Next, imagine or ask the other person what they feel or believe about what went on. Why do they feel that way? Now, compare.
Thinking about other people's perspective can help make us a better friend, a better citizen, and it can definitely help make you a better writer. So I hope you enjoy the activity on perspective.
To find out more about the book we read today, or to check out more fun activities with Max and his friends, get a teacher or parent's permission and head to sarahgilesbooks.com.